and happy Friday, everybody. Thank you all so much for tuning into the PHNX Coyotes Podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here with Petey, and Shawn. Craig is off today because his daughter is going to college.
Wait, what the fuck does that have to do with today?
Doctor's appointments, I guess.
Oh, okay. Because my son went to college. I didn't take a week to get him there. We jumped in the car that morning. We drove there. And guess what we did when we got there? Turned around, drove back. And Craig S. Morgan, how far from your house is your daughter living? Like, it's down the freaking street, right? Like, you can walk there. Oh, good God, Craig. Okay. And the other thing is, I watched the show yesterday. Did you welcome everybody in yet? I'll just get this out of the way. No, I did. So the end of the show yesterday, if you watched, it said, Leah's quote was, Craig and Petey can't be in the same room because they're beefing. And I think that just proved that to be true. So we need to get a clearing, and on Monday we'll be fine. I'm sorry, Craig. It is very sad. It's very hard. I know. Do
you have anything to say about Craig? One more thing about Craig before we talk about what we're going to talk about today? I don't know. Did you want to give him shit?
No, I apologize to Craig.
For his microphone usage?
Oh! Okay, first of all, Craig, I do understand your kid going off to college is a very difficult time. I'm sorry I made fun of that. But this is a work thing. Do you see how I look at Leah? Do you see how Leah's in the middle usually of the three of us? Do you see where my microphone is? It's off center. So when I turn my head, I'm still talking directly into the microphone because this is an audio podcast as well. So people need to hear us. So I turn my head, guess what? Right there. Turn my head this way. It's right there. Do you see how that works? Craig S. Morgan. Microphone over here. And I'm going to talk over here. Like, well, you can't. Like, can you? Like, it's not that hard. I understand when you're a newspaper reporter, but you got to go like this. Then you need to talk like this. So we're gonna work on that next week when Craig comes back. Sorry, I'm all cleared. It's Friday Funday. I love you, Craig Morgan. Without you, I would not be here. And minions, don't jump on me because it's all in jest.
It's all in jest. We are a happy family here, I promise. And I know there's been a lot of comments in the chat already. Freaked out seeing a Houston sign in the thumbnail, seeing NHL expansion in the title. It's all good. It's all in jest. It's going to be a Friday Funday. You'll see when we get to that category. It's been Big 12 has been the big talk around the PHNX office for the last 2 weeks. So we thought, let's do Big 12 meets NHL, and that's what we're going to talk about. But before we get into that conversation, we're going to talk about something else. Speaking of beefing and fighting, let's talk about the latest out of the QMJHL, the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League that has officially banned fighting. We knew this was coming, but the ruling is official, and their note says, in order to prevent physical and psychological violence that may result in minor or serious injury or in extreme circumstances, death. The Q is responsible for establishing rules of intervention when a fight occurs between two or more people during a game, regardless of whether they are players or other team members. And it goes on and talks about the different ejections, the different suspensions based on fight. If a fight occurs, they need to be broken up immediately. They'll get an automatic 1-game suspension. The person who sparks the fight will get a 2-game suspension, etc., etc. I know that you and I have a different perspective on fighting than Craig does, so we'll just say that we're speaking from our own opinions, but Petey, I will throw it to you. Your thoughts on the complete banishment of fighting in the
This is hard for me. I've seen, first of all, and I people that listen to us a lot know what I think about fighting. I do not like the staged fights that are there just to fight. I think the NHL has passed that now, where you don't see two guys line up the face-off circle and go, hey, you want to go? I want to go. And we drop and we fight. And the two tough guys go at it and everybody claps and we go on. I don't like those. I don't see the purpose. I don't see what that does for the game. However, this game is incredibly fast. It's incredibly violent, and it's incredibly difficult to officiate, meaning that the speed is so great that the referees, even though there are two of them on the ice, they miss stuff. So for me, the fights that I can get behind and go, okay, is when we saw it last year. You saw, when a player sticks up for another player. Remember Zegras is cross-checking Barrett Hayton into the ice, somebody's got to fight that guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think that there is a time and place where you need to defend players on your own team, especially a team that has younger, smaller players. And I think that there still needs to be a place for some of that self-policing in hockey. My fear with this happening to the Q, you've seen this in the NCAA. It's similar. You don't see fighting in the NCAA, right? And even if you do, they have full cages. By the way, don't recommend punching someone with a full cage because you can really damage your hand.
Yeah.
And I've seen that. What happens in leagues that are trying to get away from the fighting is, and you can see it in college hockey. You can ask college hockey people if I'm wrong. Sticks get up too high because there's no repercussion for them getting stick fouls and getting into head injuries and getting violent against people with their sticks because there's no retribution. There's no, oh shit, I better keep my head up because somebody's going to kick my ass. There isn't that in college hockey. So because of that, you're seeing much more higher stick flagrant fouls in that sport and in that league and at that level because there is no threat of fighting. I worry about that in the Q. I know the skill level in the Q. It's a high-scoring league with high-skilled players, and there's small kids playing, 16, 17-year-olds against 21-year-olds. I understand the disparity. But I think that there has to be a way that you can curtail the fighting without complete banning. I'm curious to see how it goes because if this goes well, Leah, and this pilot program goes well in the Q, I'm telling you, it's just around the corner in the NHL. And people don't believe me. There may be a day in the National Hockey League that you see much more like you see in the women's game where that there is no more hitting and checking. I could see that getting to the NHL sometime where you can rub the player off of the puck like you can in the women's game, but you can't check because of injuries and threat of injuries. I don't think that's tomorrow or next week, but I would not doubt if that's the direction that this game goes.
Yeah. I think the chat has kind of said it very well that like fighting, it belongs in the game. It's what makes hockey unique. And I think that you and I are on the same page about that. I think this is where Craig differs from our opinion a little, which is totally fine. Every opinion is valid. And I think everybody makes good points, but I think it was Nicholas made the point, I'm genuinely okay banning fighting in juniors and younger levels to protect the kids. And when you go to the rule book that they put out, the line that they bold was in order to emphasize a safe quality of play conducive to the development of players participating in QMJHL activities. So I thought underlining that was kind of essential because it is a developmental league. So they're trying to make it conducive to developing players. You can make the argument that then you're not developing physicality, but you also, there still are fights in college hockey that happen. You just have to know what the consequences are. Yeah. So it will curb fighting. They can't ban fighting because if they ban fighting, then it wouldn't happen at all. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. They play a long schedule. Yeah. They're going to fight. Yeah. It's going to happen. Yeah. Hockey's not going to change. But what about the kid now that's played 3 years in the Q? And now guess what? He's got to go to the American League next year. Well, guess what they have in the American League? Fighting. Yeah. No, you've never fought. Because in minor hockey, you don't have fighting. And young kids, you don't even have checking. Now you don't fight in juniors. Now you're going to the American Hockey League and you're playing against guys that could be 30 years old on the other side. That's all they do is fight. Uh-oh. I'm not. It's such a hard balance. It is because I'm not for fighting. You don't want 15-year-olds getting concussions and having anxiety created because of the stage fight. Yeah, all of that. But you also don't want them to get to the AHL or the NHL or wherever else and get to a place where they're completely unprepared. I think there's a difference because hockey is an extremely physical, borderline aggressive sport. It's full contact. Yes. So it's finding the balance. And this is what's so hard because you understand it. I understand I do too. Banning it in junior levels. I do. But how do you get reconcile that with when it becomes time to go in the AHL and the NHL and that you're ready to protect? And it's funny because this has come up before and it happened when the little dust up happened between Anaheim and Arizona last year. And I had the opportunity to talk to guys that fought in this league a lot. And they preferred not to be mentioned by name, but all of them said that there still needs to be fighting to protect players in those circumstances. And I think you can look at players today Okay, Clayton Keller has made it several years into his career. Clayton Keller doesn't fight. Has he? I think he's been in one or two, like ever, because you pick your spots and you pick your guys, your size. You can get through this league and play competitively at a smaller stature. I mean, they're everywhere in this league right now. Guys under 5'9" that are competing and playing it.
Look at Connor Garland
and Hughes, and
they
don't fight. I don't think you have to. I don't think the mandate is there. Now, if you feel like you're in the queue and you feel like you're 15 years old and you have to fight, yeah, that's a problem. That is a problem. And you don't want those kids in the size disparity because of the age differences. You don't want people to be afraid to play. I think all eyes in the hockey world are going to be on this new rule because you're right. You're automatically ejected, and you can go look up the ejections. Like it's stringent and they stack upon each other. So in your first fight, you could get suspended 1. You might get suspended 2 if you're deemed the aggressor. And if in your second fight, you're going to get added on another game. So as your fights add up, next time you're going to get 3 games. Well, next time you're going to get 4. So if you're a guy that's trying to make it in the National Hockey League because of your toughness, this definitely is not going to be the league for you. This is going to be a high-skilled league, and you might see guys making a different choice.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of Canadians making different choices, even going to college. Not that there's fighting there, but it is interesting to see how the developmental leagues have evolved, in the last 20 years, let's say. And each league has their own identity because you go to the West and the WHL is a little bit bigger, tougher. It's just different. So it's all very fascinating. It's one of those, I don't think there's actually a right answer at all. I think every opinion on it is valid and makes sense. And it's just tough. So
nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt at any level. And I watched some of the Memorial Cup last year, and some of the hits in that league were downright dangerous and check, behind, from behind, into the boards, charging. So that is just as egregious and injury inducing as you see in the fights. So I'm all for protecting players and making a safe atmosphere to play in. I just don't know if this made it safer, or in the case of the college game, we're going to see sticks go up and make it actually more dangerous because there is no internal policing. I think all eyes will be on it, and I can't wait to see how it progresses. Yeah,
and time will just tell and show what impact this has long term. So we'll have to stay tuned for that. Anything else on?
No. I do think I think the sport is just becoming too fast, too dangerous, and I like the policing at younger levels, and I just want to see players be safe. There's too many horrific injuries all the way through. I'm just not sure banning fighting causes that to happen.
Yep, fair enough.
Or as Craig would say, I don't know if that... That's
Craig, listen, it's going to be an emotional weekend for you and your family, but once your daughter is all moved into her dorm Sunday, you and Tara put your feet up, cheers a nice 4 Peaks, and say, we did it.
Yeah, I don't... Like, the house is quieter?
I mean, they still have another kid at home.
I know, but it's still quieter.
Yeah.
Just a couple more years, Craig, and you get it to yourself. I kept telling you. Oh, it's not that bad.
And then you can drink 4 Peaks anytime.
4 Peaks.
You're drinking WOW this weekend?
It's WOW. Yeah, the temperature's coming back up.
Yeah.
I am not thrilled about it.
This morning was lovely. It was like 90. It was. Great.
Yep.
It's WOW weekend. This is a WOW podcast. But whatever type of beer you enjoy, 4 Peaks has it, and you can buy it wherever you buy your beer. Also, I highly recommend you stop by the 4 Peaks 8th Street Pub if you're looking for somewhere to go out to eat this weekend, watch some baseball. Check out at 4 Peaks Brew or at 4 Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 or older to drink 4 Peaks, and please drink responsibly. The mornings have been lovely lately.
So what can you do?
I would say go out and golf.
Go golf. Except if you don't golf. But you know what you still can do?
You
can look like you golf. Yeah. You can look like you golf. I say the better you look, the better you play.
It's so true. Yeah, whether or not you golf, check out Pins and Aces. They have amazing polos. They also have streetwear. I know it's summer, but they have really nice crew necks. They also have great baseball hats as well. They just have a great product.
I need a new hat. That's brilliant. I didn't think of there.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, check out Pins and Aces. They also have a beer sleeve. It keeps your beer cold on the course, which, keep that 4 Peaks cold when you're out on the course. Check out pinsandaces.com and use code PHNX to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com.
And I want to say Jay Bean in the chat said moving son down to ASU too. I make light of Craig. That is a really hard time for parents. So embrace it, enjoy it, give it a little extra hug on the way. But this is just the first step to the beginning of adulthood. So it's
exciting.
Yeah, it is.
College was a very fun time.
And the Watts, by the way, heard. Keep my mouth close to my microphone. Enough said.
Okay. Well, speaking of college sports has been big
crazy
news of the last 2 weeks, especially here at PHNX with our PHNX Wildcats and Sun Devils show. The ASU and U of A are headed to the Big 12 beginning in 2024. So as the producer of the ASU podcast, I've heard a lot about the Big 12. And they've had some fun doing, ranking the rivalries, ranking the road trips. And we thought, well, we can do that too.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a little bit of an NHL angle at this.
Yes.
And look at the Big 12 and think, which of these cities would make the best NHL expansion cities? Let me say that again. Expansion cities, not relocation cities. Expansion cities. And I think everyone got
we're not moving. We're not implying the team is moving.
No. Everyone got up in arms because they saw Houston.
Whoa.
Trust me, Houston, it's a trigger point for Coyotes fans. Listen,
we understood.
Houston, Quebec City.
Understood.
Now Salt Lake City. And guess what? Salt Lake City's on this list.
Is Quebec City in the Big 12?
It is not. Okay. But I'm just saying that's a city.
They could be because the map makes no fucking sense. So they might be.
That is true.
I can't believe I swore again. What is wrong with me on this Friday? I'll stop it.
Yeah,
sorry, Dan
somebody got mad at you in the YouTube comments for swearing.
Did they? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's so okay. Totally not my game.
Oh boy.
Sorry, I apologize, Dan.
So, Petey,
yes,
Craig, Shawn, and I put together our list.
How are we doing this?
Ranking.
I think Brady's gonna like my list. Just saying, because I see Brady.
Ranking which cities we think would make the best NHL expansion cities. And this is a little tease. Craig has an article coming this weekend. Craig does a realignment story every summer. This is a very unique one that kind of plays into what we're doing today. So look out for that on Sunday at gophnx.com. Who wants to go first? Should we show? Oh, Craig's here in the chat.
Oh, Craig's here in the chat.
Should we put Craig's up first?
My guess, Craig didn't listen to the first 2 minutes of the show, though.
Or he would have turned it off.
Yeah, he would have turned it. Yeah, don't go back and watch the first 2 minutes, Craig. I'm sorry. I'm saying sorry in advance.
Should we start with Craig's list? Or should we have
sure.
one of us? Because Craig can't give his reasoning because he's not here.
Let's face it. Isn't that the definitive list?
No.
Just because it's Craig's?
No, it's his opinion.
Oh, buddy. But Craig's opinion, it's like in your household, like all the kids get a vote, but Craig's just gets one more than all those. So Craig's opinion ranks higher. So let's do Craig's first.
All right, so let's pull up Craig's list. This is the cities in the Big 12 Craig thinks would make the best
and the best part about this, Leah,
expansion cities.
He doesn't get to explain it.
No, he doesn't.
So boo.
Craig, you are welcome to write in the chat or, probably do voice text because that's what you do in the doctor's office waiting room. God. So Craig's ranking is number 1, Houston, Texas as the top expansion city. Number 2, Salt Lake City, Utah, a city we've heard a ton, especially around May. Number 3, Lawrence, Kansas. Number 4, Cincinnati, Ohio. 5, Orlando, Florida. 6, Fort Worth, Texas.
TCU.
7, Tucson. 8, Boulder. 9, Lubbock, Texas. 10, Provo, Utah. 11, Ames, Iowa. 12, Waco, Texas. 13, Manhattan, Kansas. 14, Stillwater, Oklahoma. And 15, Morgantown, named in your name, Craig. Morgantown.
That should have been first,
West Virginia, you put last. Craig, feel free to add some reasoning in the chat, but this is in order the cities Craig thinks would make the best NHL expansion teams. And as he is not here to speak for himself, I will move on unless Craig speaks up in the chat.
Yeah,
what do you think of the list?
He's wrong. That's it.
I think you should go next.
Fine, because mine's right.
Okay, let's go.
And I almost regret the first one. I did put Houston, Texas first, and I did it for a different reason. One, this is the only one that's actually real that I think could actually maintain a team, like maybe Salt Lake. So I put Houston. I like that rivalry. My list has a lot of rivalries. I like the Dallas Stars and the Houston Texans or whatever the hell they're going to be. I like that rivalry. I think it's an in-state rivalry, and it's great. Coming in at number 2, Brady, is Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk, at KU in Lawrence, Kansas. And here's why. Again, look at the rivalries you're going to get from KU. You got the St. Louis Blues down the street. You're going to have that Midwest corridor with Minnesota. You're going to get Chicago. The rivalries. Kansas supports winners, and KU is a great sports town just outside of Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. So I think you're...
It's a big sports town.
It's a big sports town that should have a hockey team. I wish Kansas City would get it, but since they're not on the list, they're going down the street with the Jayhawks. At 3, Orlando. I like all of the Florida teams, the rivalries with Tampa and Miami. And let's get a theme park going in Orlando. The visiting teams can go see the mouse. Love Orlando. Cincinnati, again, another built-in rivalry. You got Cincinnati and Columbus, and the Midwest is so underrated. Cincinnati could be a great hockey town, so I got Cincinnati at 4. Number 5, the Tucson, Arizona, home of the Roadrunners. I love Tucson. Again, the rivalries between here and Arizona would be epic. I just don't know if they'd have to play in the Eastern Conference. Ames, Iowa comes in at number 6. If you know, you know. Buddy, Ames, Iowa, home of, who went to school there?
Patrick Brown.
Patrick Brown went to school in Ames, Iowa. Again, just on the road from Minneapolis, the Minnesota Wild, and then they could take over that from Des Moines all the way to Minneapolis and take that whole fan base. So I like Ames. Salt Lake City. Again, it's a team that's ready to go. It's the size is big enough for the city. They could support an NHL team. Lubbock, Texas. The reason I put Lubbock and Waco at 8 and 9, again, it's the rivalry with the Dallas Stars. I like the in-state rivalries, so that's 8 and 9 and 10. TCU, Fort Worth, Texas. So it's 3 Texas teams at 8, 9, and 10. Number 11, Manhattan, Kansas. Again, it's a Midwestern team. I like it. I don't think they have the attendance of Lawrence. Morgantown, West Virginia, literally don't know where that is. So they're 12th, 13th, Oklahoma, 13th because they're Oklahoma. And here's the 2 that are surprising. Boulder at 14, Provo at 15. Beautiful cities. Fantastic, beautiful cities. But it snows, and when it snows, you're stuck. And I don't want to be on a visiting team charter and get stuck for 3 days in Provo and have to extend my season for an extra week. No matter how beautiful they are, freeways get shut down when it snows, and you're stuck. And we don't want that. So I'm sorry to the home of to BYU and the Buffaloes. So that's my list.
Craig said, awful list, too much wink before compiling this.
He's not wrong.
But I will say this is a funny comment. Charles said, Morgantown is too small for bougie Craig. Needs to be Morgan City. And Craig said, exactly, Charles. And then said, Morgan City would not sell ketchup or IPAs.
Morgan City.
Oh my goodness. That's a good, I respect your reasoning for your list. I don't think my list is so different. We can pull up my list now.
We should really the definitive list is coming. Like I joked
Sean's?
about. Yeah, Sean.
Yeah.
Because he's been talking about this.
For last.
Yeah.
So I also have Houston number 1. Same reason.
Yeah.
It's actually a market that's talked about as being a fit for an NHL franchise. Like you mentioned, the in-state rivalry. Texas is so big. I think it can for sure sustain 2 NHL teams. I have Orlando at number 2 because it's a huge city in Florida. They have an NBA team. I think if that infrastructure is already there, and I think you can, if you do something similar to when it was the Anaheim Mighty Ducks and do a similar Disney theme, I think it could be electric. No state tax in Florida. The players would love to live there. So give me Orlando at number 2. Number 3, I have Salt Lake City. This one was painful because we've heard the rumors, but again, it is a valid, like there is a owner in Salt Lake who wants to bring a team there. So sure, we'll put it there. I have Cincinnati, Ohio at 4. I think the in-state rivalry with the Blue Jackets would be phenomenal. I think Cincinnati, they also have multiple major sports teams there with NFL, with NBA. Or no, they don't have NBA. That's the wrong city. Wrong city that starts with C in Ohio. They're all confusing. But Ohio, it's like Southern Ontario, pretty much. So why can't hockey work there? At number 5, I have Lawrence, Kansas. Similar reason for Petey. Close to Kansas City. I think that region of the U.S. could definitely sustain a hockey team. And this might be a surprise that Ames, Iowa is this high on my list. I just think Iowa, that area, give it hockey. Ames is near Des Moines. I don't know if Ames would be the choice, but just because of its proximity to Des Moines, I've given Ames a shout. I have Fort Worth, Texas at number 7 in the Dallas area. Huge population base. Why not? Give Texas another team. I have Tucson at number 8. I'm loyal to U of A. I love Tucson. It's a great city. And Roadrunners fans are fervent. They're amazing. They love hockey in Tucson. I have Boulder at number 9. I think Colorado, it's a great setting for hockey. Boulder would be beautiful. Waco, Texas at 10. Again, Texas is a big state. It can sustain a lot of teams. I have Provo, Utah at number 11. I think it's very picturesque, and a hockey rink would look lovely there. I have Lubbock, Texas at number 12. Again, it is a semi-large city in Texas, so sure. Manhattan, Kansas at 13, not very big. I have Morgantown, West Virginia at 14, which I kind of regret putting this low because the Wheeling Nailers is like a kind of a established ECHL franchise, and the Wheeling Nailer fans are extremely passionate about hockey. So I think West Virginia is underrated as a hockey place. And last, I put Stillwater, Oklahoma, because you can't have ice in a place called Stillwater.
I would suggest that that's exactly what ice is still water.
It's frozen water. It's solid water.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, you make a valid point. But that's my list. Shawn?
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on
I
my
do
list?
have some thoughts.
You were taking notes when I was writing.
But mine are more overarching thoughts that I'll wait till after DP talks.
Okay.
I've got some thoughts.
Okay.
But I'll wait.
Okay. Alrighty then. I took this somewhat seriously, believe it or not. I started with
the same top 6.
Yeah, there's some teams that actually could. Houston. I like Orlando. I think we're having a team with the mouse. They did it once. Why not do it again?
I do like that. Now that you guys have both sold me on the mouse idea, I like it.
They've done it once. They had the Mighty Ducks. Bring them back.
Yep.
Except obviously not the Mighty Ducks. And then Salt Lake and Cincinnati. They're both real cities. After this, all the cities don't really exist.
Sorry to anyone listening who lives in these cities.
She's saying sorry, I'm not. Lawrence, Kansas. Listen, I mean, why not? I've heard it's a cool city, and it's close to Kansas City, so why not? And the names, like you said, Leah, let's put on for the Great Plains. Let's let them have literally
they
anything.
Need a team in the Great Plains.
They need literally anything.
Yeah.
And then Lubbock, Texas. Same thing for the Great Plains. Put on for West Texas. There's like nothing out there. People in New Mexico can root for them too. Yeah. Why not? Then this is where it gets bad. Provo. It looks nice. It looks nice. I hate Utah. You could convince me if they play all of their games as outdoor games. I'm in. Manhattan, Kansas. Because it's named Manhattan, and that's cool, I guess.
Valid.
Fort Worth. I mean, there's no reason that North Texas should have 2 teams, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but I'm from there, and it's a big city, so why not? Boulder, Colorado. Again, if you played all your games outdoors, that would be really fun. Waco, as long as the Branch Davidians stay away, I'm chilling. Morgantown, West Virginia. They probably should have been lower because I don't think those backwoods hillbilly bums deserve anything. I hate Morgantown.
And thanks for showing up.
Do we need to say feral people?
Feral people, yeah. Stillwater, because who wants literally anything to do with the state of Oklahoma?
Just lost all of our Oklahoma.
I mean, I'm from North Texas. Why would you want to do anything in Oklahoma? And then Tucson.
If there was 16, he'd put
in the words of Dave Chappelle, why? Fuck them. That's why. Yeah, I hate
from an ASU grad.
Yeah, to be clear.
Can I make a couple comments?
Absolutely.
First of all, and I know this isn't a college.
He took notes. He got up, got his notebook, and was scribbling.
2. 1, brief. No one needs to respond. Change the name of the goddamn conference. Big 12. There's 15.
There's 16.
Okay, to be fair, they haven't played any sports yet with more than 12 teams in the conference.
The Big Ten's been the Big Ten forever.
That's true. The Big Ten is on.
But it hasn't been 10 teams for 15 years. Okay, so that's one. And secondly, if you really want to put another team in, it better be from the central United States East, because if that happens, then the Coyotes can come back to the Pacific Division where they belong. So if you put a team in Texas, Kansas, Iowa, anywhere out east, Florida. Well, Florida is not going to help. But that Midwestern area core, you put a team in Houston, they can go to the Central. Arizona can go back to the Pacific where they belong.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
And I swear, did I afford again?
I don't know. Oh, that was Shawn.
God, I'm so sorry.
You just know when Shawn comes on the mic, if your kids are in the car,
just turns out. I'm so sorry. What happened?
I don't know. You need a wink.
Okay.
You need a wink.
I do need a wink.
And yes, for the sake of these lists, we did not include Tempe, obviously, because
they don't want a team.
We are here. Yeah. And Tempe does not want a team.
Don't get
clearly. One. So those are our lists. Let us know in the chat what your rankings would be, what your top 3, 4, 5 would be, and we'll post this on Twitter later today at PHNX.
Maybe there'll be odds on this.
Coyotes, so you can let us know.
Should there be odds on this?
Odds on which city is next to be
Yep.
awarded a franchise?
Houston would be plus money.
I think
Salt Lake too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be the highest odds, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not available on BetMGM, but there is a ton of stuff that is today. Like, this is what I love about BetMGM. I looked at my phone. I had a notification. You have a free bet waiting.
I don't know.
Like, they just do this. And you just log in the app and there it is. And you can throw it on whatever you want. That's what is so great about BetMGM. Friday bonus bets.
Love it.
So make sure you take advantage of Friday bonus bets. If you just log in at any point in the weekend to claim your bonus bet on the house, put it on whatever. Put it on
You put it
future.
on Cleveland Guardians scoring under 3 runs today. You just print money. Cleveland Guardians under 3 runs.
Hey, and Petey's been on fire
Heater
with his
in baseball.
So
Cleveland Guardians
listen to
under
his
3.
picks.
Book it.
There you go. So if you want to tail Petey, because he's been on fire on baseball bets. And by the way, I saw Christina placed her first bet on BetMGM last night and won.
There you go.
So there you have it. Sign up for BetMGM. Use the bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live. But for our Arizona audience, place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. If it loses, you can check out the show notes for full details. And now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario.
The other thing you need to do, if these teams move, a lot of them are in the Midwest, and we got the Orlando team, you have to provide every player on that team with Shady Rays, because we know how important it is to protect our eyes from the sun, and nobody does it better than our friends at Shady Rays. We all have our Shady Rays. We wear them all the time. I keep a pair in the car and a pair at home.
Yeah,
just so I've got myself covered. Yep. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, one thing great about Shady Rays is you can exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. No risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. Exclusively to our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use the code PHNX. They better remember that code by now. It's PHNX.
It's on the screen.
For 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,003 people.
And 3? Are we the
3? We're the 3.
Oh, yeah.
Shady Rays.
Oh, man. All right. Well, it is Friday, so it's time for our...
Oh, okay. Is Craig fighting with people?
I don't know. Craig's bored in the waiting room, so he's creating
And what we hear him about as well in the doctor's waiting rooms we did here on set when he turns his head. It's about the same volume. What, Craig? Can't hear you.
Petey.
That's not fair. I attacked.
Weekend binge. What do you got?
Are we there already?
Yeah, it's weekend binge.
Well, the first I'm going to say, I'm going to tease... Can I tease our show on Monday?
Yes.
So Monday is going to be Michelli Monday. If you've seen my previous breakdowns of McBain and Dumba, going to be very similar to that on Monday, Michelli Monday. So to make that happen, there needs to be a lot of hockey watched. So I've started watching some of that in the last 2 days, and there's more to watch. So that will be part of my weekend. But as always, I got 2. I just watched on HBO. If you people know Brittany Murphy, most famous from Clueless, iconic role in 8 Mile, where she actually dated Eminem after that. She died at the age of 32. There's a 2-part special documentary on HBO. I guess I didn't know what actually happened. Now I'm incredibly informed, know exactly what happened. So the Brittany Murphy documentary on HBO is outstanding. And then I'm going to go back to my favorite BritBox. They have a new murder mystery called Granite Harbor. It's 3 episodes, and it wraps everything up in a bow. It's a little bit of comedy, a little bit of suspense, a little bit of drama, and it's a murder mystery. Granite Harbor on BritBox. And I know Chris has BritBox. So, Chris, there you go. A new one, Granite Harbor.
Awesome. I really don't have anything. I'm on the final 6 episodes of Love Island UK. It is over in real time.
How many episodes? 102?
665.
Same.
Um,
it's like the MLB season.
Yeah, seriously. It's over in real time. I'm a little behind. I'm almost there. I'll continue to recommend Snowfall on Hulu. Phenomenal. And being in LA last weekend.
Which one?
Snowfall. It's about the mid 80s with where
cocaine.
the U.S. government is bringing in cocaine to fund a war.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay.
And it was cool being in LA this weekend because you just feel like you're in it. So Snowfall, I'll continue to recommend, and I'm still watching QB. However, Netflix, listen.
Uh-oh.
They finally activated their thing where if you're not on the same Wi-Fi as the account holder, you have to like upgrade your account or whatever. So I tried to go watch Quarterback the other night. Oh no, this Netflix isn't on the same Wi-Fi because my mom owns our Netflix. So I'm very upset.
So you're done with Quarterback for right now.
I'm very upset. So Netflix,
figure it
I hate
out
you for this. And one other I want to mention because I will get Netflix back. This is a plug that means something to me. So one of my favorite comedians ever, his name is Jared Freed. He's hilarious. He has a Netflix special coming out on Tuesday, August 15th. It's called 37 and Single. He is hilarious. I've been listening to his podcast for 5 years. He is just so funny. So 37 and Single on Netflix on Tuesday. Jared Freed. Check it out.
Okay, I put that in. Brady's got Taylor Sheridan's new show, Special Ops. What was that
Taylor
one?
Sheridan is
Lioness. What was the Lioness? What was that one with Claire Danes?
Homeland.
Yeah, so I was going to say that because it would have been a good joke. I liked it the first time when it was called Homeland, but I couldn't think of it.
Shawn, do you have anything?
Well, I promised Petey I'm going to start watching Eastbound and Down this weekend.
I sent him another clip of Eastbound and Down. He didn't know what it was. Do you know what that is?
No.
Oh my God. If you watch the trailer that we watched the other day, you're in.
Yeah. So I promise I'm going to watch that. If I have time, I'm going to try to watch the third Guardians of the Galaxy finally.
I'm halfway through that.
Last weekend, I finally watched the first 2. I had never watched it, so I watched the first 2 last weekend. I didn't have the energy to watch the third.
You've seen Avengers and Infinity War and Endgame, right?
I don't know if I've seen Endgame, so I probably will watch it.
You need to watch it before because
Worldwide
there's like a huge plot point that doesn't make sense unless you watch Endgame.
Noted.
But doesn't it though? They're out to destroy the universe.
No. Or just watch a little recap on YouTube.
See, Nicholas, Kenny F. and Powers. Buddy, how is Sean DePaz, the baseball guy that he is, not seen that Kenny F. and Powers? It is such in his wheelhouse. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, we'll find out this weekend. Last thing, I've watched it already, but it's a suggestion. They cloned Tyrone on.
Yes. How was it?
It was phenomenal.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
It really on Netflix. Sorry.
Gotta get back in.
It's like a 2-hour movie. It really messes with your head. It's a really good movie though.
Okay, good suggestion. This was
awesome.
a good weekend.
That was
binge.
a good one. Yeah, I am really. I want Sean to do is I want him to take an OGs, and then watch Kenny F. and Powers. Like I just think he'll get a chuckle.
Can do.
This guy can't stand Danny McBride. I usually don't either, but he's so funny in this. Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No,
I digress.
I really need to get back on watching stuff. I've been slacking a lot, and it's mostly because Love Island UK takes up a lot of my time. But I'm almost done, and I promise I'll stop talking about it when I'm done. That's pretty much it from us.
Wow, it's Friday. And are we all here on Monday?
We are.
Do we have a special guest on Tuesday?
We do.
Can we announce it yet or not?
I don't know.
Craig, I'll wait.
Craig, let us know if we can announce it. But while we're waiting for Craig to give us the go-ahead, we're here in the commish studio. I like when it's sometimes just the two of us in this studio. I feel very comfortable and cozy in here. And we have great decor, such as this. What would you call this?
A
skull?
It's like a sugar skull.
Sugar skull
statue.
It's from Foco.
It's sick.
Almost everything
Cardinals.
you see behind us. Yeah, this is Cardinals.
Oh, is it Cardinals? Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was that. Why did I think it was
It's wearing a Coyotes hat, though.
Yeah.
Almost everything you see on our set is courtesy of our friends at Foco. They have amazing Arizona merchandise, including like shoes, Christmas ornaments, like everything. It's a really great place to buy gifts for the sports fans in your life. So check out Foco. They have your back for Arizona sports. Get the best gear around by visiting foco.com. That's FOCO.com and use code PHNX. And for all non-presale items, use promo code PHNX for 10% off. Craig said we can announce it, so go for it.
Former Coyote gritty two-way centerman and Stanley Cup winner with the LA Kings, Brad Richardson, is coming.
In studio.
Is that in studio?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. So really looking forward to that.
Wow.
Yep, it's going to be a great week next week.
Wow.
Michelli Monday, breaking it all down. We got Brad Richardson on Tuesday. Hopefully another guest later in the week. It's going to be a
We're working
really
on another
fun
guest?
one. Yep, we're always working on guests. It's August, Petey.
When it's we, you mean you and Craig.
Just, you know,
That's awesome.
This is what we do here at PHNX.
Should we get to be in the other studio then? Awesome.
We try and
Craig can wear a headset?
We might. Well, I think he's a little better in that
Or a
studio
neck
because
brace.
the mic is like
Right.
physically like
Yeah.
in front of him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Whereas here he's.
You should get it like a neck brace. Remember that one Beer Hat he had?
Or we need to like put a brace on him and like strap the mic in so if he turns his body, it turns with him. Anyway,
Exactly.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. This is what I love about PHNX. We talk hockey 5 days a week, even in the off season, even in the depths of August.
We're there.
Still talking hockey. Craig's still putting content on gophnx.com, including diehard only pieces once a week as well. So become a diehard so you can read those. Become a diehard so you can join the Discord. Our Discord, I feel like we're adding someone new every day. It's always high flying conversation. There's always something to talk about. It's a blast in there. So join our Discord, join the family, grab yourself a free shirt or hat when you sign up, get 20% off merch, get 20% off on events. You can get a Dobson Range card, a $50 Mountain Mike's voucher. And it's just a great thing. We're continuing to add extra content for you as well. Petey's diehard only meetings. We're going to do
we're doing
more of
another one
those.
coming up here in the next few weeks.
So it's just a great time to become a diehard.
Yep. Can't
Petey,
wait.
you have anything else to go?
I don't. That was a good Friday.
Yeah.
Enjoy. And hockey will be here before you know it. They're jumping on the Coyotes are jumping on a plane and heading to Australia in 5 weeks.
Crazy.
It's insane. So
Yeah.
it's coming.
Yeah, join the Discord to talk about maps.
Oh.
It's MapQuest in there.
It is MapQuest in there.
that's the vibes right now.
What was that one that show when we were kids? Where in the World was Carmen Sandiego? That's kind of what
When
it
we were
reminded me of.
kids?
Well, when I was a kid. I don't know if I was a kid. Yeah,
I
I
knew about-
wasn't a kid.
I
but
know about it too.
when my
but-
kid was a
okay.
kid.
Okay.
'Kay.
Oh my goodness. All right.
When
well,
your kid was a kid was when we were kids.
Right.
He's 2 years younger than me, I think. 2 or
Yep.
3. Anywho, thank you all so much for joining us, for
Oh,
participating.
Craig's done with his appointment. He got
Wow, Craig, that was really good timing.
Yeah.
Craig, we wish you and your family all the best this weekend as you move Erin into her dorm on Sunday.
Bring your
Very
Kleenex.
exciting. Super exciting. So we're happy for the Morgan family.
Yeah, it's
Everybody in the YouTube live or after the fact, hit the like button on this video. It helps us out immensely. And if you're listening on audio, be sure to leave us a review wherever you get your podcast. You can follow Craig on Twitter, wish his family well, at Craig S. Morgan. You can follow Petey at S. Peters Hockey. Follow me at Leah Merrill. Follow Shawn at Shawn_DePaz. And you can follow the show at PHNX_Coyotes. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we will see you all on Monday.